Property investors all eventually run out of servicing capacity. And that is a fact. Well, at least temporarily. But just because you run out of servicing, doesn't mean you should stop growing your portfolio. And of course, the simple answer is no. After observing some of the top investors and what they're doing, and trying the same method for myself, I realized that you can still grow despite running out of servicing capacity. I've tried to simplify what they're doing into this one concept, and I call it the Property Flywheel. What's going on, everybody? It's Blandon here from mortgagehq, and if you've been investing for a while, you can relate to this. So you've settled a couple of properties, you've invested into some good holding opportunities. Just when you're getting the hang of finding good deals, negotiating good prices, the bank tells you that you can't borrow anymore. So you stop looking altogether, but what you don't realize is that you've basically fired yourself from a job that pays you $1,000 per hour. Yes, you heard me correctly. Property finding is a $1,000 per hour job. Because look at it this way. When you learn to find good deals and negotiate, often it is $50,000 to a $200,000 instant equity in the deal. And the time that you might have invested might be only 50 to 100 hours, effectively earning you $1,000 or more per hour. And unless you're already earning more on your current job, wouldn't it make sense to keep doing the $1,000 per hour job? So this concept here is how you can keep utilizing this skill. I'm going to draw on my iPad here. There are three components in the property flywheel. Firstly, there are deals. Secondly, you have trades. And thirdly, you have your holds. So how does it work? You go out there and look for good deals. Then, since you can't settle more deals, you want to sell them off to other investors for a small margin. And with the profit that you get, you can put it back into your holdings. This will allow you to have a bit more equity so you can potentially look for more deals, and you would do this until you find a premium deal, which you can't say no to because it's got a whole lot of margin in there. It's got lots of future capital improvement potential. Then you want to sell one of your holds and then settle this new one, or you might be in a position to just buy that new property altogether. So again, you will look for more deals. Then if you're settling more deals, you're going to get more opportunities from the agents. Then you'll be able to get good deals and you can trade them at a decent margin to other investors. And then when the premium deal comes along, you can then trade it into your current portfolio, and you would just repeat and repeat. And the more you do it, you're going to have more opportunity, creating what we call the flywheel effect. Now, I can hear some of your questions right now. But Blandon, if I do this, doesn't it mean I end up paying more tax? Well, if you have a job that you're earning $1,000 per hour, would you really complain about paying tax? Regardless though, you will need to make sure you have some good tax structure advice in place to make sure you don't get tainted. Now, a couple of important things that you need to pay attention to. First of all, with your holds, the ones that you want to choose to hold usually have a very good capital improvement value, meaning you could potentially put something like a minor dwelling or potentially bulldoze it and develop it in the future. Capital improvement, and you want to have a meaningful amount of instant equity. Meaningful would be different for everyone's portfolio. Obviously, a smaller portfolio might benefit from a $50,000 to $100,000 in instant equity. A bigger one, you might look for at least $200,000, and so on. Now, even if you have to pay tax on the one that you end up selling, you're still adding a decent margin into your portfolio. I mean, who saves $100,000 in a year these days anyway? And property is a very good way to achieve that. Now, the trades is probably not what you're thinking. Not your typical do-up where you buy, renovate, and try to extract the maximum profit out of the deal. The trades that you're doing should be exactly the same as the properties that you hold. So the deals you're looking for are actually properties that you might potentially hold, and you're selling to people who want to use the same strategy as you. Just to give you an example, one of our top tier clients, Anna, she built her 8 property portfolio just under 5 years. And through this process, she built a lot of good relationships. So agents still continue to feed her deals although her borrowing capacity have ran out. But instead of just turning those deals away, she would still filter them and pass on the good ones to other investors that want to do the same strategy as her. And she might just add her finder's fee or a small margin on top. That way she's going to build a good reputation for herself. She only pass everything that is high quality and have good cash flow. That way she can build a good reputation for herself. And obviously, if the premium deal comes along, then she can decide to add it to her portfolio. Now, last year, I actually tried to apply the same strategy into my property investing. My whole strategy currently is to build more equity through developments. I was pretty much close to maxing out last year, but my business partner and I actually went on to do 6 more deals. These are all land bank deals with a high development margin. So 3 of them we actually traded for a small profit, 2 of them with pretty good margin, and they had good cash flow as well because they had 2 properties on them. So we actually got families to settle those properties with the plan to develop them together in the future. And one of them I kept. It was bought for $1.75 million in March. And just in October, the same size land, 1 property apart, actually sold for $2.3 million. The house conditions are around the same. So even if I'm conservative, I can confidently say that I have added around $400,000 of equity into my portfolio by keeping just one of the deals that I trade. So there is an important lesson here. The trades, again, isn't about making the most money possible. Instead, your focus is to build a network of people wanting to do the same strategy as you, and you're actually helping them to get started. In return, you get these premium deals that come along once in a while, and you get to hold them in your own portfolio because you got a much larger pool of deals to choose from. This is how I believe you can make asymmetric capital returns from property investing, by going through more deals. So how could you apply this theory to your current investing? Well, again, there are 3 components that you have to look at. Firstly, you got to start building up the network that you could potentially sell to. Now, the simplest way to achieve this is obviously just getting real estate agents on your team that understand what your strategy is. Second, you need to start building up your deal sources again. And again, it's specific to the strategy for your holds. And thirdly, you would probably want to learn the in and outs of trading, how the GST works, how your tax structure should be done, so that you will be in the best position and not get tainted. Now, what are your thoughts on the strategy? I love to hear from you. Do leave a comment down below for me. And of course, if you found value, please smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I share a lot of high-level concepts on YouTube, and if you want detailed case studies where we dive into the numbers, check out some of the masterclasses and courses that we have on our website. I'll share it in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.